If there's anything that we've learned in 2025, it's that change happens when we use our voices. I personally have felt extremely heartbroken by some of the actions of one of my favorite brands in the entire world, REI. In particular, this last year, but if I'm being totally honest, it's been a long time coming. They have been exemplifying some very anti-union, anti-environment, very pro-Trump, conservative-leaning behavior for a while now. And I want to talk about it, but not in the way of just going down a long list of all my grievances with the brand itself. Instead, I want to share an example of a letter that I actually just wrote and sent to the CEO of REI. Her name is Mary Beth, and she became the CEO this year in 2025. The REI Union has provided some really amazing talking points and a form on their website where you can go on and send her a message yourself. So I wanted to just read what I wrote to Mary Beth to you all so you can kind of use it as a framework to write your own letter, because I would encourage you to go out and use your voice in a way that makes sense to you and makes you feel empowered. I think that we really have seen the power in collective action in 2025, people raising their voices, using their voices for good. So I really encourage you to do this. The REI Union has made it so easy to go and submit a letter. So I will have that linked here in the description and everything for you to just easily click through. It's also linked to my blog post, but I highly encourage you to do it. Even if you just spend like 5 minutes on it, every single letter, every single voice matters. So without further ado, I'm going to read you the letter that I wrote to her. Gotta pull it up first. So I said, Mary Beth, I am writing to you not just as a longtime co-op member, but also as someone who has always believed in REI's mission. I've believed in your mission and truly felt good supporting your brand. Growing up in the Pacific Northwest, REI has always been a part of the outdoor landscape I love. I became a member because I believed in REI's mission to connect every person to the power of the outdoors, and in your own words, to do so in a way that prioritized people and the planet before profits. I've dedicated much of my adult life to advocating for inclusive outdoor spaces both online and in person. I've built a community and a podcast that uplifts the voices of people who've never felt like they belonged in traditional outdoor circles. For a long time, REI felt like a brand that supported that same vision. But over the last few years, especially in 2025, my trust in REI has been severely damaged. And if I'm being completely honest, I'm not sure if it can be repaired. This year alone, REI has taken action after action that feels deeply out of step with its values and stated mission. The endorsement of Doug Burgum, a politician whose environmental record and alignment with Trump's anti-conservation policies are public knowledge, was a clear betrayal of your environmental ethos. The apology issued after the backlash from the public felt more like PR damage control than sincere accountability. We all know endorsements like that do not happen accidentally, and they are not thoughtless. They are vetted, reviewed, and approved at the very highest levels. Walking it back after months of criticism does not earn back our trust. It goes further to reveal where REI's priorities truly lie. Then came the decision to eliminate outdoor experiences and classes, laying off thousands of dedicated employees. That alone strikes at the heart of what REI was supposed to be. That's how people connect with nature and community. That's how people were able to dip their toes safely into outdoor experiences for the first time ever. It's also how so many people discovered your gear. Financially, it doesn't make sense to eliminate those classes and experiences, because even if they alone were not profitable, people attending them bought so much gear. Ethically, ending those programs felt like a betrayal of REI's purpose. And of course, there's REI's ongoing anti-union behavior, which has made it impossible for me to feel proud to be a member. Employing Morgan Lewis, a known union-busting law firm used by Trump to bargain with REI workers, is indefensible. So is refusing to send any decision maker to the bargaining table. So is the company's reported decision to illegally withhold merit raises and bonuses from unionized workers. So is taking away respirators from ski shop workers who needed them. These actions do not reflect care for your employees or for the people who power your brand. I voted no on the recent board elections because I support REI workers. I followed the union's efforts closely, and I found it reprehensible that REI refused to allow 2 employee-nominated candidates onto the ballot. Instead, the board handpicked corporate candidates, undermining the democratic process that's supposed to define a co-op. As a member, I'm disgusted. You cannot claim to be building a more inclusive outdoors while ignoring the voices of your workers, many of whom are BIPOC, queer, disabled, and part of the very communities you claim to support. If you look at the recent report from the National Employment Law Project that was recently released, your racial biases and other discriminatory practices prove that REI is rotting from the inside out. The facts tell a completely different story from what you claim. This hypocrisy is glaring, and the consequences are real. From what I want from you, Mary Beth, is not more crafted communications or vague PR statements. I want change, I want accountability, and I want to see REI live up to its values, not just in words, but in action. This means ending union busting practices, bringing decision makers to the table, respecting and listening to employee voices, and recommitting to the democratic and environmental principles that REI was supporting in the first place. Right now, REI is at a crossroads. I hope that you choose to return it to a path of integrity, inclusion, and shared purpose. Until then, many of us are watching, and we won't stop speaking out. Sincerely, Madeline. It's a long letter, but one I felt was worthwhile to put my time and energy into. I hope it's read. I hope somebody sees it. I think that spending a little bit of time in your day to write something, again, does not need to be as long as the one I wrote, is a worthwhile use of your time. While we can all talk about, supporting other brands aside from REI, there are a lot of different incredible options, and I do encourage you to try to shop secondhand if you can. REI is a very accessible brand for people. Like REI is one of the first places I ever got to try on hiking boots in person with somebody actually qualified to talk to me about the ins and outs of hiking boots. We need organizations like REI to continue to thrive because of the accessibility that they offer. We need to be able to support them, but we can't do that when they're behaving this way. It makes it really, really hard to do that. So I'm hopeful that they're able to turn things around. We shall see. But in the meantime, I highly encourage you go follow the REI Union social media pages, because that's where I've been getting most of my information about what has been going on behind the scenes. They are a great follow and a great resource. And if you have the time, go submit a letter for yourself as well.